transport in plants, other concepts. We have discussed in the previous class facilitated diffusion, what is water potential, what is pressure potential. Then we have also discussed about solute potential. So these are all different concepts, physical concepts and biochemistry part we have studied. So today we will be discussing about osmosis majorly. So what you have to remember is plant cell has cell wall and cell membrane. So first part is cell wall. Cell wall, they are readily permeable to water and other substances and they can easily enter through cell wall. Okay. But plasma membrane is selectively permeable, that you have to remember. And there is no barrier to movement from cell wall. That is first point that you have to understand. Water and other substances is easily permeable. Permeable means they can enter through the cell wall. So cell membrane, that is not possible. They are selectively permeable. Okay. So now if you look into it, what is the solute potential of the cell array? We are going to take the vacuolar sap array, the fluid that is present within the vacuolar sap. The content of it is what we take it as solute potential of the cell. Vacuoles are there in the plant cell, you know about that. Vacuoles are enclosed by a membrane. What do we call them as? Tonoplast. Vacuolar membrane or tonoplast. So the solute potential of the root, they are present because of the contents of the vacuolar sap. So they contribute to the solute potential of the cell. That is what you have to remember about. Then plant cells, you know that they have cell membranes and vacuolar membrane. Both of them, they are responsible for movement of molecules in and out of the cell. Two things. Cell membrane, or it can also be called as plasma membrane. You remember that fluid mosaic model of plasma membrane. Okay. Cell membrane and tonoplast. Tonoplast is nothing but vacuolar membrane. They are responsible for what substances has to move in and out of the cell. They decide. We have already discussed about active transport. If you remember that carrier ions, carrier pump and other things, proteins which are present which help in the transportation of these various methods, uniport, symport. All this you have to correlate with this concept. Okay, in the plant cells, cell membrane or plasma membrane and tonoplast, they are going to determine what type of molecules can enter and exit out of the cell. Okay. So now osmosis. Osmosis is the movement of water from a region of its higher water potential to a region of its lower water potential through a semi-permeable membrane. This definition you won't find it there. It's very easy definition. Earlier in the state syllabus we used to have this definition of osmosis. Osmosis is movement of solvent molecules from a region of higher water potential to a region of lower water potential through a semi-permeable membrane. We call that movement as movement of water. Okay, we call that as osmosis. Okay, but here osmosis depends upon two factors. One is concentration gradient. What concentration gradient? It can be the water. Like higher water potential and they have more amount of water, less amount of solute. So always water moves from higher water potential to lower water potential. In the previous class I had discussed about that. Okay. So the osmosis depends upon the concentration gradient. They are also dependent upon pressure gradient. Okay. So two factors that osmosis is dependent upon is concentration gradient and pressure gradient. They might have told you in the classes osmosis is of two types, exosmosis and endosmosis. Endosmosis is entry of water from outside into the cell and the cell increases in volume, it swells up. We call the cell as becoming turgid. The cytoplasm, the entered water molecules, they are going to exert pressure on the walls of the cell membrane. We call that pressure as turgor pressure. Now the cell wall resists this pressure, so there would be an equal and opposite force, which we call it as pressure potential or wall pressure. Okay, they resist this turgor pressure. So remember about that. That is the simpler form of definitions which they might not have given here. They have not used those technical terms at all. So now if you take a simple example, there are two osmometers, osmometer A and osmometer B. Osmometer A, how much is the water potential here? Osmometer A and B, which is higher? B. A has higher water potential. I am not talking about concentration. I am talking about water potential. Presence of water. See, just assume this is 0.1 normal. This is 10 normal. So they have more solutes. Here lesser solute, more water. Here more solutes, less water. So this is higher water potential. This is lower water potential. So always water moves from higher water potential to lower water potential through a semi-permeable membrane. Okay. So it is moving from osmometer A to osmometer B through a semi-permeable membrane. So this is what is osmosis. Now osmosis can be demonstrated through two experiments. Physical experiment where it is inanimate, physiological experiment where it involves living cell. Physical experiment is by Thistle funnel experiment. Maybe in your practicals you might have drawn this demonstration of physiological experiment. Thistle funnel experiment. Then for physiological, where living cells are involved, we use this potato osmoscope or potato osmometer. So in the physical experiment, to demonstrate osmosis is a physical process, it does not involve any expenditure of energy. Okay, what they have done is they have taken this Thistle funnel, okay, and they have covered the mouth of the inverted Thistle funnel. They have covered the mouth of the Thistle funnel with a semi-permeable membrane. And in the beaker they have water. And in the Thistle funnel they have sucrose solution. So the pink color represents sucrose. The other things are water. Sucrose solution. This is pure water. Where is the water potential more? In the beaker, water potential is more over water. Pure water, the value of water potential is 0. Water potential for pure water, highest value for water potential is 0. That can be seen in pure water. So water moves from higher water potential through a semi-permeable membrane into the Thistle funnel. So the initial level of the solution increases. After half an hour, you find there is an increase in the solution of this Thistle funnel. Why is it happening? Because of the entry of water from beaker into the Thistle funnel. So this is what you notice there. So there is an ascent of that liquid in the Thistle funnel. So water moves from pure water to sucrose solution in the Thistle funnel through the semi-permeable membrane. This is what is osmosis, which we have demonstrated in an inanimate object, beakers and Thistle funnel. Only thing is the membrane what we have chosen, they have chosen it can be the goat bladder's membrane it can be, or it can be they have taken an egg, removed the contents of the egg, that is yolk and albumin, and they have dissolved this egg. With the shell they have kept it in hydrochloric acid. So the shell has dissolved only the membrane, inner membrane, so that membrane is used as tying as semi-permeable membrane for the Thistle funnel. It can even be the urinary bladder wall of goat. Okay, so the bladder of goat's bladder, or it can be the membrane of egg, which is utilized as a semi-permeable membrane. So you see that there is an increase in the solution in the Thistle funnel, which indicates there is entry of water from the beaker into the Thistle funnel, because Thistle funnel had lower water potential. Okay, still it attains equilibrium, this osmosis takes place. Now in case of the second experiment, what they have done is everything is same, but they want to prevent this osmosis from happening, entry of water from the beaker into the Thistle funnel. For that, they are going to apply pressure using a piston. They are going to apply a pressure. The pressure required to prevent osmosis from happening, we call that pressure as osmotic pressure. Pressure required to prevent water from diffusing or osmosis from happening, what do you call that pressure as? Osmotic pressure. So in the second Thistle funnel experiment, we are preventing osmosis or diffusion of water by applying pressure. Okay. So now the potato osmoscope, where we take a fresh potato, peel off the outer peel of the potato, okay, remove the peel of the potato, cut the potato into half, make it into a cup-like structure, and scoop out some inner contents of it so that it becomes a cup-like structure, and place it in a beaker or a round bottom flask. Okay, so place it there, and within this cup-like structure that you have formed by scooping out the contents of it, you can put salt solution or sucrose solution. Initial part of it you mark it by using dot pen, wood pen, dot pen. Okay, after some time you find that the volume of this within the potato osmoscope would have increased. So the final part of it you again mark it using the dot pen. So there is an increase in water level within the potato osmoscope. There is no inanimate object. So there are cell membranes, cell wall in the potato. So the water is entering through them, and they have entered into this cup-shaped structure formed where sucrose is there. This is pure water. Water potential is higher. Here sucrose solution, where water potential is lower. So entry of water from higher water potential to lower water potential till they attain equilibrium is taking place. This we call it as the potato osmoscope. Okay, physiological experiment to demonstrate osmosis. You have to remember about that. Okay. So now, higher the solute concentration, it is going to, if there is a higher solute concentration, it increases the osmotic pressure. Higher will be the osmotic pressure. It is directly proportional. Osmotic pressure is also called as osmotic potential. What is osmotic pressure? The pressure required to stop the water from diffusing or water from undergoing osmosis. That we call it as osmotic pressure. So the osmotic pressure is positive, osmotic potential is negative values. So you should remember about these things. Now solution I have already discussed in the first class itself. There are different types of solution: hypotonic solution, isotonic solution, hypertonic solution. See, now in case of isotonic solution, they have external solution which balances the pressure of the cytoplasm. That is, they have the same concentration, the external solution has the same concentration as that of the cytoplasm. There is no changes there. Hypotonic solution, what happens is, the external solution dilutes the cytoplasm. That is, water enters from the external solution into the cytoplasm and they become dilute. Okay, it dilutes the cytoplasm, and it is dilute than the cytoplasm. Sorry, it is dilute than the cytoplasm. Hypotonic is water enters into the cell. So we call it as endosmosis. Exosmosis andre water exits from the cell. Okay. If that exosmosis is extreme, we call it as plasmolysis. So much water exits out that the protoplasm shrinks from the cell wall. We call it as plasmolysis. Okay, you should know the difference between exosmosis and plasmolysis. Exosmosis is movement of water away from the cell sac to the outside. When does it happen? When it is placed in a hypertonic solution. When does exosmosis or plasmolysis takes place? When it is placed in a hypertonic solution. In your lab, you might have done that. The peel of Rio, epidermal peel, you might have placed it in 10% sucrose solution or 20% sucrose solution. After 15 or 20 minutes, when you observe it under microscope, you find that the pink colored protoplasm would have shrunk from the cell wall. So it is plasmolized cells. That is how you demonstrate plasmolysis, isn't it? So you have done that Rio plant experiment in lab. So that is how, so you have to place it in hypertonic solution. For exosmosis to take place, cells have to in the external solution. If it has higher concentration, we call it as hypertonic solution. In hypertonic solution, exosmosis takes place. If this exosmosis continues, the protoplasm shrinks and they are going to shrink away from the cell membrane or cell wall. That is what we call it as plasmolysis. So hypotonic, when water enters inside the cell, when it is placed in a hypotonic solution, the cell bloats up. Cell becomes turgid. When the cell becomes turgid, you can notice here, cell becomes turgid only when water enters. Okay? So flaccid, there is the entry and exit of water both are happening in flaccid cell. They are normal cell. So isotonic solution in the cell will be flaccid. When they are placed in hypertonic solution, you can see the protoplasm has shrunk from the cell membrane or cell wall, has shrunk away from the cell wall. So we call this as plasmolyzed cell. So it is exosmosis, but extreme exosmosis we call it as plasmolyzed cell. So water moves out of the cell and the cell membrane of the plant cells shrinks away from cell wall. That is what is plasmolysis. So this is a plasmolyzed cell, flaccid cell, turgid cell. What is deplasmolysis? What is deplasmolysis? A plasmolyzed cell, when it is placed in pure water or hypotonic solution, they regain their normal cell shape. The water enters inside and the cell becomes flaccid and they are going to be normal. So this we call it as deplasmolysis. The process of reversing the plasmolysis, we call it as deplasmolysis. The plasmolyzed cell is placed in a pure water or hypotonic solution and the cell becomes normal by the entry of water. We call such process as deplasmolysis. Okay. So remember about that also. So plasmolyzed, the protoplasm shrinks away from the cell wall. I have already discussed it plenty of times. You might have seen that in rheodisty color. When you take the peel, you take the purple colored part of it. Rheodisty color leaf. If you have seen, one side is dark green, another side is purple color. When you take the peel, you take the lower side of the peel. Why you go for that? So that you need not have to stain the cells. And it is very easy to see plasmolysis taking place. That's the reason we utilize the lower peel of the rheo leaf. Okay. So remember about that. What is Targar pressure? The pressure against the wall. We call it as Targar pressure. See, when water enters into the cell, okay, the pressure exerted by this water which has entered on the cell wall, we call it as Targar pressure. Now the cell wall exerts an equal and opposite pressure on the cytoplasm. We call that as wall pressure, or you can also call it as PP. What is that? Pressure potential. Understood about that? Okay, Targar pressure, pressure potential. Psi P is nothing but pressure potential. We have already discussed about pressure potential. The pressure required to prevent for osmosis from occurring, we call it as pressure potential. We have discussed that during water potential, solute potential, pressure potential, when we discuss the components of it. Psi W, that is water potential, is equal to sum of pressure potential and sum of solute potential. In the previous class I have discussed about that. Okay, so that is what you have to remember. Targar pressure, it is responsible for extension and enlargement which leads to growth of cell. Targar pressure is responsible for the extension and enlargement which leads to the growth of cells. Also what you have to remember is the cell wall is so much elastic and rigid that the Targar pressure doesn't breaks or blast the cell. It cannot happen because the cell wall is flexible and rigid. You have to remember about that. So the last concept for today that we'll discuss about is imbibition. I have already told you. Imbibition is the process of adsorption of water by colloidal substances followed by absorption of water. Adsorption of water by colloidal substances followed by absorption of water. So example for that is the dry wood. They are going to absorb water and increase in volume. In the prehistoric days, they were using this log of wood to break big, huge boulders. I told you how they take a small pit into the boulder and place this log of wood and water them continuously. Okay. When they water them continuously, they are going to increase in size and break the boulder. Cracking of the powder takes place. Okay. Before this TNT and other things were known, they were using this primitive method of breaking the boulders. Okay. So then the germination of seeds. Seeds has to come out from the seed coat, which is hard. So for that, imbibition is the process by which it takes place. I even told you in kheer or paisam, the sago or sabaki, they are undergoing imbibition. The doors of the houses during monsoon season, they increase in height and they don't fit into the frame. That is also again because of imbibition. So imbibition is a special type of diffusion. Because why it is a special type of diffusion? Why do we call it as diffusion? Because water is flowing through the concentration gradient, not against, through the concentration gradient. So we call imbibition also has a special type of diffusion when water is absorbed by the colloidal substances and it leads to absorption of water. So imbibition is also a physical process that you have to remember about. So in the coming classes we'll be discussing about transport of water, the ascent of sap. They don't give such names. They would have generally the uptake of water, uptake of minerals and minerals. But it is also called as ascent of sap. Uptake of food is called as translocation of organic cellulose. We'll be discussing those maybe another one period. I should be completing this part of the chapter. But here it is a little tough because you have to remember what is pressure potential, what is water potential. These terms are easy. In the previous class also I have discussed it in detail. So you have to again concentrate on those and read the textbook day in and day out. So you will find it very